Hi guys, and welcome to The Batch Lady, where I show you how to make fast, simple, homemade portion control food that you can make in advance and then put in your freezer and use for whenever you want it. And on this quick 2-minute video today, what I'm showing you is the thing that lots of people have written in and asked for is what's in my freezer. Dun dun dun! Well, later on in this week, I'm going to show you what's in my main freezers, which are out in my sheds. I've got 2 big industrial freezers out there, and how I manage them and how they're very easy to run if you follow a very simple system. But today, I'm just going to show you what is in my freezer in the kitchen and how I keep this kitchen freezer, what I keep in it and the reason why. So if you happen to have a big chest freezer and also a freezer in your kitchen, you might be quite interested in how I do it. So let's have a look. What is in my freezer? Now, is that door going to stay open? Yes, it is. Okay, it's just like everybody else's freezer. It's not all lovely sitting in lots of meals. All my meals that I make are generally out in a main freezer. So in here I always keep up top ice cream, ice lollies, and bags of frozen fruit for the kids making smoothies. Okay, so the kids know don't mess with any other shelf. That's your shelf to get to. Okay, the shelf below, what I like to do is keep things that I use every day. So I've got little blocks of roux that I use for making lots of sauces, and I've got my hollandaise sauce that I also use. I love hollandaise sauce, we use it quite often. What else have I got? I've got some breadcrumbs. So I use breadcrumbs a lot, generally because I keep burning baguettes, so I end up with lots of breadcrumbs, but they're great on the top of lots of the dishes that I use. My husband loves pate, and my homemade pate doesn't last that long in the freezer, so I tend just to make it and keep it in here so that he can use it. I don't make it in huge big bulks too much unless it's Christmas and I'm going to use it. Always keep some pesto, thin thing of pesto, just so I can break it off and add it to the top of dishes. And this is really where I keep my bread products, and the reason I do is, as I've shown you before, to save waste. If I buy a packet of bagels, it's 6 bagels, then I'm only going to keep 3 out and 3 are going to go in the freezer because I know that we're not going to use the whole packet. So I do that with morning rolls, bagels, crumpets, even down to the fact that 2 scones are in the freezer because I know that I'm going to waste them if I put it all in the bread bin at once. Okay, so I have a bread one. So ice cream, bread, and then down here, this is where we get to all my vegetables that I use on a daily basis. Woo! Dropping some sweet corn. So we've got some sweet corn that I've just dropped on the floor, mushrooms, frozen onions, bags of peas, green beans. So that's the veg that I know that I'm using every single day. It's now going to start beeping at you completely. Down here at the very bottom, in my on my door, is where I keep all my herbs. All the little bags of herbs, I just keep them down in the door. So I've got garlic and coriander and chopped chilli. Then you can't see it below, but I basically have one of these that is empty. It has nothing in it at all. And the reason is, if you're into batch cooking, you like batch cooking, it means when I've made everything and I've got it flat and it's ready to go in the freezer, rather than try to take it out to the main freezer, I'll just store it flat on this shelf. So I'll store them all up and let them freeze like that, and then I can transfer them very easily into the main freezer and they store flat. If it had stuff in it, I'd end up with everything all rocky. So if you can, keep one spare. Now, that spare one as well is also great because when I decide what I'm going to meal plan for the week, I then go out to the main freezer, bring it back and put it in here. So I know at night when I'm in my pajamas, I just need to come in and go, actually that's the meal that I'm having. It's on the shelf and I'm just going to sit it in the fridge overnight, and it's good to go for tomorrow. My last 2 lots are just filled with some more vegetables, frozen chips, things like butternut squash, that sort of thing. So usually what I would say is everything in your kitchen is at hand, stuff that you need on a day-to-day basis. So we need ice cream, we need, well, not ice cream day-to-day, but you know what I mean, the smoothies and the bread. So I don't want to always be going outside to my big freezers to get it. I hope you've enjoyed seeing what is in my freezer. I've even got a nice fruit pastel lollipop that I might just have just now. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. See me on Facebook, www.thebatchlady.com. The Batch Lady on Instagram, Facebook, you'll find me. Just put in The Batch Lady. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this. Bye.